If a question is asked about the hardest fight in the very early stage of Baldurs Gate 3, I know a lot of players would remember this phase spider matriarch. I know by this time, as you have played this game for several times already, you might know some easy ways to kill the spider matriarch, but very few can say it was an easy fight at their first encounter. Well, not only the spider matriarch, what about the Albear mother and the null leader? Guess what? It is Larian Studios. It is Baldurs Gate 3 where the game never gets old. As you keep playing the game, you keep learning new things, even things that you once thought to be impossible. For instance, I have never thought that one day I will be using the spider matriarch as my permanent companion. Not only that, I have also used a lot of other strong enemies as my slave. Well, it is very interesting, but it was never easy to figure out all this, and let me make sure that you will never find these things anywhere else in the internet. For the whole method to work, I will be using Glut's animating spores to revive the fallen enemies and use them as our companion or slave, whatever you say. The biggest challenge here was to take Glut out of Underdark. However, I have found two different methods to do this in Act 1 and Act 2. Also, it took a long time for me to find a way to keep Glut permanently even after long rest. But before the tutorial, let me showcase some of the powerful slaves I recruited in the first two acts of the game. Be noted that the animating spore section can only be used on beasts and humanoids. First, let's talk about the phase spider matriarch. Trust me, once you get it as your companion, it will soon become one of your most favorites. It is so powerful that it can take out a lot of enemies within few minutes. It is very satisfying to control it and kill enemies. It can easily teleport from one place to another, it can produce high damage venom while attacking, and also you can use its wrath to increase strength. Let's get back to the Albear mother you killed near Emerald Grove. Let's revive it and use it as a companion. It comes with good hit points, damage, and also a special action which increases its strength. There is another way to get an Albear companion. If you have a high level druid in your party, then he can transform into an Albear. Remember him? He is the null warlord you killed in the missing shipment quest in Act 1. You can get him as a companion using Glut's animating spores on him. It can paralyze enemies, use multi-attack, and make enemies mad. It has a very special way to heal itself. Let me show you. In Moonrise Towers, you can use Zarel as a powerful companion. You can use her black hole action to pull the enemies and slow them. After recruiting her, I was curious to know about other NPCs' reaction in Moonrise Towers. I thought they would go hostile. Fortunately, that didn't happen. Now let's talk about Karnis. He is one of my most favorites. Using Glut, you can revive him and fully control him. He comes with a lot of hit points. Also, his Venom Claws action deals good damage. Paladin's Control Undead is another option to make him an ally. But using Glut's animating spores is a better option here because by this you can have the full control of Karnis. Trust me, using a Mimic as your companion is a great fun experience. Just look at it, it is quite unique. Though it is not a very strong ally, but still this thing is worth trying. You can get this Mimic from CLERIC's secret room in Moonrise Towers. After killing it, use Glut's animating spores to turn it into your companion. Now let me tell you the way I took Glut outside Underdark. First, I'll be telling you about Act 1. The process is a bit complex, so try to follow the video carefully. This might sound a bit weird, but for this thing to work you need to make Glut roam around like this. But it doesn't happen naturally. All the time you'll see him just standing like this. For making him roam around, you'll need to follow some steps. After meeting him in the Myconid colony, use any secondary party member and invite Glut to the party. After that, go to camp. You'll see him walking around. Now switch to your main character and dismiss that secondary party member who recruited Glut to the party. Now use the primary character and invite Glut to the party. Then leave the camp. Now go to a suitable place and dismiss Glut. See, now he is roaming around. A little note here, try to do this thing soon after meeting Glut for the first time. Now it is time to teleport him outside Underdark. For this, first use the reduce spell on him. Then take a strong character and use throw option on him. As soon as he is picked up, open map and fast travel to your desired location. See, he is here with us. Just practice it several times to have the perfect timing. If he is just standing instead of roaming around, it doesn't work. Once he is outside Underdark, talk to him and invite him to the party. Now you can use him as a companion like you do in Underdark. But here is a problem. He doesn't follow you properly. If there is much distance between you and him, he will automatically get dismissed. so try not to make much distance. But if you want, you can keep him detached and do your work in other places. Later, if you go back to the place you detached him, you will find him there. Also, using the reduce and throw technique, you can fast travel with him at any place. You can heal him and the Spore Servant by short resting and using potions or spells. Now let's talk about long resting. It took me a long time to solve the long resting problem here. In general, if you take a long rest, you'll go to your camp and get stuck at the camp no matter what you do. What if you dismiss him before long rest? Will he be at the same location after the long rest? The answer is no. In this case, he gets back to Underdark. Now let me tell you the solution. Here is Glut with the Spore Servant. Just cast Feign Death on him before long resting. After long rest, he will be at the same location. Now use the help option. Be careful, after helping, if you do not talk to him immediately, he will get vanished. So talk to him and invite him to the party. Once he joins the party, the Spore Servant will also join automatically. So don't worry about the Spore Servant. There is no chance you'll lose it unless it dies. As soon as Glut joins your party, the servant pops up from nowhere. Now let's talk about Act 2 areas. In this case, the process becomes even easier. In the beginning part of Act 2, you get the chance to travel back to Act 1. Just go to the Myconid colony and invite Glut to your party. Now go to camp. Then if you fast travel to any Act 2 areas, Glut will come with you. It is very simple. After the fast travel, talk to Glut and recruit him. But here things get a bit different. In this case, Glut doesn't follow you at all. So in this case, you need to walk like this. If you detach Glut, he will stay at the place where you detached him. So you can go anywhere without him and come back later. Here, you do not need Feign Death before long rest, but do not forget to detach him before a long rest. After the long rest, you will find him at the same place where you left him. Using this method, you can go to Act 1 areas through the mountain pass. In the same way, you can use the Act 1 method and take him to Act 2 areas following the mountain pass. It is totally up to you. I know these methods are a bit complex and I am extremely sorry for that. Trust me, I became frustrated while doing all this. Just one wrong step and the result is 0. It took a long time and effort. If you like this, please subscribe and make me smile. However, did you know there is only one noble stock in Underdark? But that single noble stock can be given to 4 different persons using some tricks. Watch this video from here. Visit my channel to get more Baldurs Gate 3 videos like this. Subscribe if you like. Till then, have a nice day. Goodbye.